feared through Killarney. Now I'm back to hitching with a win. But if Mickey Flynn should ever find me, I'll throw me caution all behind me and square off on that son of a bitch again. He cracked open a river too, he beat me Sunday through and through. Danced a jig over my unconscious frame. I won me healthy sheriff fights, well lucky son, still have me life since Mickey Flynn beat me dumb and lame.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the Always Next Year podcast. This is the very first inaugural, it's kind of repetitive, but I said it, Chiefs Talk segment. I'm your host, Steve, here with Shane. Shane, how you doing today?
Oh, you went different.
I know.
I was all prepared for Letterkenny.
It's a different show, different introduction.
All right, that's fair. I am burnt, but I'm good.
Yes, as am I.
Yes.
Very sweaty as well. It's not a pleasant time to be in the studio right now.
No, it is not. I'm pretty sure studio right now, if we put a thermometer in here, it's got to be 85, 88 degrees. Like,
still better than outside.
Outside is humid and awful.
All right, so this is probably going to be a weekly segment, especially during football season, where I pretty much just rant or just go off on tangents about how good the Chiefs are. The ranting will be what pissed me off, and it's usually going to be a large portion of it being Andy Reid. Which is
the only reason I'm here.
Yeah. And if we did this last year, it would have been about Bob Sutton, but he is gone and Steve Spagnuolo is in. And
how can that make you possibly feel better?
It's not Bob Sutton.
I don't know, man. Spags is horrendous.
I'm sure as long as they're average, the Chiefs will be fine. As long as the defense is average, the offense will win the game.
How many new pieces are on your defense right now? Do we even know?
Oh, man.
It's like 5.
Yes. I mean, Frank
He
Clark
runs one of the most complicated defensive schemes in like the history of defense in NFL. That's why he always blows when he gets to where he goes.
Well, they lost Eric Berry and Justin Houston. Any team out there that would like to improve their safety position, sign Eric Berry. I wish the Chiefs could have kept him, but salary cap is a thing.
Yes, it is.
It's very unfortunate. I was almost going to buy his jersey.
Still buy it.
Thinking about it, I did that with Jamal Charles.
Yeah,
that was something he meant to do for about 7 years.
Yeah, I would still 100%.
So the real question is, why am I a person that lives in Philadelphia, has grown up my whole life in Philadelphia, Kansas City Chiefs fan? The answer is I always hated Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb, and growing up, yes, it's the true joke of my life.
That is true.
So I really just watch football. I mean, I always watch Eagles games. I can literally answer really irrelevant, stupid questions about the Eagles in like 2002 because I watch Sports Rise every morning. So I have a lot of knowledge on the Eagles. I have a betting interest on the Eagles because I did that parlay of the Eagles Chiefs making the Super Bowl.
Yep, so, $3.25 on a $10 parlay?
Yes. So I have rooting interest in the Eagles, so I'll be joining in on the football segments, but I need to get my opinion out there on the Chiefs. And hopefully it expands. Hopefully you like it or are entertained. I got off on a tangent there, as I usually do. So I hated Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb. I grew up with no real rooting interest in a team. It would have been the Eagles, but I just couldn't stand Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb. And
also hated Donovan McNabb.
Yeah.
100% here for the McNabb slander.
Yes. I was really scared that when Andy Reid was hired, that he was going to be like the quarterback's coach. I'm happy that did not happen.
No one's going to employ him.
Instead, it was Doug Peterson. How'd that work out? So it was like about 2006. I watched like Rose Bowl. I think it was Penn State. Tom Bahali really like showed like he really like piqued my interest, and then he was drafted by the Chiefs. So I was like, I'll give him a chance. I also
your fantasy football name almost every single year.
Hail Bahali.
That's correct.
Yes, it's also Puff Puff Pass Rush in my old work league that I'm still a part of after like 6 years now. So
lasting impressions.
Puff Puff Pass Rush was started by this guy. I think he writes for Arrowhead Pride, which is a very good follow. But I believe he smokes a lot of weed. And
what gives that away?
His tweets. And also Puff Puff Pass Rush. He would tweet that out every single time that they had a sack. So I'm like, that's funny. I'm using that for my fantasy name. So talking about how he gets drafted by the Chiefs. I'm looking at them. I also started Madden thing, wanting to relocate them, and then I'm like, oh, cool, this team is fun on Madden. So Trent Green pretty much died, and ever since then, up until Alex Smith, I saw some of the worst quarterbacking you can see this side of Cleveland.
I was just going to say, tell that to two cities over.
I did go on like a rant about it on Twitter once, how grateful I was for Patrick Mahomes II, and even for Alex Smith, because he was actually decent.
I loved Alex Smith.
Me
first
too.
of all, and your dumb ass coach did not maximize his skill set. No one wanted to maximize his skill sets. They were just so content to let him be a game manager.
Oh, well,
why would you not let that man throw? He has a decent arm.
Just never forget that Saints 49ers playoff game. It was like
Remind
42 to
me.
like 45.
Yeah.
And then the 49ers lost to the Giants, and then we know what happened.
Yeah.
So I saw a lot of shitty quarterbacks. I was watching a lot of games via NFLnetwork.com or NFL.com. Like, I'll be at work. I was working Sundays at a bank and just going through like the play-by-play and
What
Twitter.
could you possibly have to do at a bank on Sundays?
My type of branch at the time was open on Sundays, like 10 to 4. So I would go in with like a polo on and shorts. And sometimes, like, you know, your pajama wear. But as long as I had that polo on, I was fine, because all they saw was the top half of me through a video screen. I had maybe 2 customers every Sunday.
That's still absurd. And if you were one of those 2 customers, you were such a jackass.
Yes, because there's an ATM outside. And I didn't have any help in the branch on Sundays. So, like, my machine was at the branch, and I would be like, yep, I'm sorry, I can't do this. You'll have to come in tomorrow. But I came here today. I'm sorry. So I watched a lot of it, and, you know, saw the end of... I never really saw Herm Edwards. I saw Todd Haley and Scott Pioli kind of give me false hope, because I'm like, hey, yeah, the Patriots way, this should work, maybe. I learned not to believe in that.
How much of that coaching tree is successful?
None.
Exactly.
So Todd Haley, I fucking hated Todd Haley. He was terrible. He was a very good offense coordinator for Arizona with Kurt Warner.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kurt Warner was just great.
I hate Kurt Warner so
He's
much.
so good.
I fucking hate him. I can't stand him. He is good.
Why?
I don't know. There's something about him I just hate. He shouldn't have been good. He was terrible with the Giants, and all of a sudden he's just good again with the Cardinals. I hated it. I don't know why. It's very terrible logic, but I just hated him. You don't just get like those players where you just hate for no reason.
I do.
Exactly. That's Kurt Warner for me.
Strange, but
So yeah, Todd Haley and Scott Pioli didn't really do much. They traded for Matt Castle, which I was like, hey, he was 11-5 and missed the playoffs.
he was whatever. How could you have fallen for that?
I didn't quite fall for the Matt Castle thing, but I did have like a little bit of hope.
I guess, well, given
After Trent Reid died and they had Damon Heward and Brody Croyle, who never won a game he started in the NFL, yeah, it was just, how could it get worse? It did with Tyler Palko playing like 2 games. Worst quarterback I've ever seen in my life in the NFL. So all that happens. Todd Haley gets fired, and Romeo Crennel takes over. They're that 0-12 team.
Yep.
They come back and win against the Packers, who are undefeated, which was a great moment in like a 2-14 year.
Got to take what you can get
Romeo,
when you're rebuilding.
Yeah, Romeo was the interim, and I was stupid enough again to say, yes, he deserves that head coaching shot for 1 year. It did not work out.
Quality coordinator should be it.
Maybe an associate head coach, whatever, you know. It works out for the Texans. So in
Look at the talent he has there.
in that time frame, you know, they drafted Jamal Charles in the 3rd round.
Hook him.
And Texas fan here, Shane, was like, Jamal Charles is really fucking good. And I saw like a few plays here, and I'm like, I really like this guy. He is super fast. I don't know why he's not being utilized. Eventually, Larry Johnson spits on a girl in a nightclub, and then Jamal Charles takes over.
Just talked about this during Whiskey Ramble or after Whiskey Ramble. I don't ever remember that happening. I think I was just ecstatic to see that my guy was going to be, well, your all-purpose back. Mm-hmm. It's fantastic. He's so goddamn good.
Yeah, and he still didn't quite get as many touches as he should have. There was literally a game where Romeo Crennel was like, I don't know why he didn't touch the ball more. He touched it like 5 times one game. It was terrible.
It's not a good look
Jamal Charles is a Hall of Famer. His career should have been better, but he will forever hold that yards after carry.
I know.
Yards average, whatever it is. So I have a Jamal Charles jersey. I have a Tamba Hali jersey, obviously. And then Andy Reid was hired. And me working in the back office of the bank, go up to my coworker Brian, and I'm like, oh my fucking God. Well, no, he called me and said, you won't believe it. You have to come up here right now. And I'm like, to my boss, I'm like, Brian said he needs me up front. She's like, oh, what's it about? I have no idea. Check my phone. What the fuck?
Did he get the actual reaction?
Well, I mean, I was like, what the fuck? And then it was just our banter, just like, I can't believe this is fucking happening. Of course this would fucking happen.
Oh,
and he is just laughing hysterically because he never understood why I was a Chiefs fan. I don't blame people for not understanding why. It's not the great reason, but I've chosen my life choices.
That's right. You've stuck with it more so than most people do.
Yes.
Most people jump onto a winning football team or a winning sports team anywhere.
My logic was, this team is terrible. I want to see them rebuild and eventually maybe win a Super Bowl.
Which, by the way, is the exact same thing you do in every video game that you play. Every time I sit here and talk to you, oh, what did you do? I'm trying to make the worst team in the history of FIFA good. I'm trying to recreate a good Dolphins team right now.
Yep.
It's absurd.
It's just what I do. I love franchise modes, and I'm probably going to do one in NHL, and I'll probably be Ottawa Senators.
That's good.
Yeah. So we're yelling at each other. I'm, basically like holding back tears. That's an over exaggeration, but yes, I was livid, and I'm like, but at least we'll be like 10-6 and make the playoffs and then choke again, which is better than what I've seen.
Is it though?
It was. That quarterback play I saw, I still can't get over. And I still will forever be scared of Patrick Mahomes getting hurt because Chad Henne is a terrible quarterback.
He is bad.
He is.
He is so bad.
And kudos to him for continuing his career. I don't know. I don't understand these backup quarterbacks.
I don't know.
But every time Patrick Mahomes scrambles, I'm frightened for my life. It's not even mine. Not even his, just mine. I don't want to see a bad quarterback again. So before we get to the next point, let's just go to the inner segment. Since we already brought it out, the backup quarterback. The best backup quarterback in your lifetime. Who do you think it is?
I mean, obviously I'm biased in the Nick Foles thing right now. I don't believe that he has the ability to be a 16-game starter of the caliber that he played during that run, but I do believe that he is very capable of giving you 4 or 5 week stretches as he did for the Eagles. And I think that he's a guy that if he had the desire to, he could remain in the NFL until he's 42. He could be Josh McCown. He could be 42, 43, 44 years old and always find a clipboard to hold.
I could see that, and he's also better than Josh McCown. I'm going to go with Chase Daniel. For the man that made the most money doing nothing.
Hilarious.
That man backed up Drew Brees for 6 years, and then he went to the Chiefs to be the backup.
Then swapped over with Folesy.
Yeah, and then he got, $9 million?
From the Eagles?
Yeah.
3 years, $21 million.
Okay, so he got $7 million to be a backup, and literally not do anything. And then when Nick Foles was brought back,
back to the Saints.
He demanded a trade because he wanted a starting opportunity.
Yes, and he went back to the fucking Saints.
He went to the Saints,
and
then he went to the Bears.
I don't think he went to the Bears. Did he?
Yeah, he's on the Bears right now. He followed Matt Nagy.
I think he went Saints then to Bears.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Shane's probably wrong, and I'm right.
I'm honestly.
He's Googling it.
I am going to Google it while you.
Because he demanded the trade, and then he went to the Bears, and Mitch Trubisky was there.
Maybe
you are right. Now I'm doubting myself, and that's not good. I will go with a runner-up, and that is
2017 Saints. 2018.
Jesus Christ. All right,
Bears.
I was wrong. I
nailed it. That's all I'm here for is fact-checking purposes here on Chiefs Talk with ANYP.
Hand in the air, I was wrong. I admit it, unlike some people across from me. I thought you were going to say Colt McCoy.
Colt McCoy should be a starting quarterback forever, even though he has one leg right now.
That's terrible. They had to re-break the ankle.
Oh
my God.
The Redskins for everything.
Yes.
I hate the fucking Browns, too. I also hate Alabama for doing what they did to him, placing a hit that was so normal on any other human, it doesn't hurt them. But Colt McCoy just caught it at that one wrong spot, lost the national championship game, and then decided, shit, let me come back for my senior year. He would have been a top 5 fucking pick if they even were competitive in that game and he played a decent game. And instead, falls all the way to the goddamn Browns in, I don't know, round 84.
Okay, so for my second option as best backup quarterback that we've seen, I need to ask you, gun to your head, who would you rather have starting for 6 weeks straight? Josh McCown or Ryan Fitzpatrick?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Okay, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Because he can at least, throw up 4 touchdowns, throw up some Fitzmagic, while Josh McCown would just,
Josh McCown's... First of all, I believe they both have about the same ceiling of ability during a 6-week stretch, but I have so much more trust in Fitzmagic to be magical.
Yes.
Let's be as corny as we possibly can right now.
This is only introduction. I will berate Shane after this and be like, no,
never,
not in the future.
Never again. But yeah, it's definitely Fitz.
Yes, I agree. There's always Charlie Whitehurst. I feel like he bounced around, just clipboard Jesus-ing.
Forever.
He just like an Eagles practice squad player and then just kept going.
Yeah, I don't understand him.
I think it was like the Chargers, like the Ravens, I don't
Seahawks,
know. He was
Texans,
on like 7 different teams.
Yeah.
Just to stand there with the clipboard.
It's absurd. Yeah. Absolutely absurd.
I wonder how much money he made.
Tyrod Taylor is the one we were talking about last night. A guy backed up Flacco forever. I still think that he can start.
I wanted him to be the Chiefs' backup quarterback.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I think stylistic, he's got a big arm.
Yep.
He's athletic enough in the pocket. I don't think your offense would fall off too much. God forbid, your Jesus goes down.
My Lord and Savior, Patrick Mahomes II.
Most jacked up voice in all of sports.
It's hilarious.
He is so funny.
I love the guy.
Can't not. How are we going to get through this without talking about Coy Detmer, by the way? Coy Detmer.
What did Coy Detmer ever do?
First half.
You talk about Coy Detmer, and then I will respond with a better one.
Any name at all.
Okay, AJ
Coy Detmer, any name.
Ty Detmer.
Except for his brother.
No, just because Coy Detmer was like the holder and Donovan McNabb's backup for like 10, 12 years, even though AJ Feely
Philadelphia loves a backup.
Yeah, AJ Feely.
AJ Feely was a backup for...
I was excited whenever he actually started a game for the Eagles.
Yeah, then I just shipped him over to Miami.
And then he came back.
And he came back like 3 different times.
I think he beat the Patriots in the regular season again.
Probably. I don't even remember.
If he starts that Super Bowl, you guys have 2. Hot take.
I think not. I was sitting here and I was mulling it over.
He's not throwing up on the field.
Well, no, he's because anyone's better conditioned and more clutch than Donovan fucking McNabb. He's a not a garbage quarterback. He's overrated. Very overrated.
Yes, and I hate him.
I also loathe Donovan McNabb. I loved him coming out of Syracuse. I was so okay with the pick, despite the fact that I'm a Texas Longhorns fan and would have loved Ricky Williams. I understood that quarterback was more of a necessity to our franchise at that time. Not unlike Patrick Mahomes II was for you guys. You needed to hit right. You finally did.
So, segment part of the show I didn't anticipate talking about. Now it's been brought to my attention. Do you think Patrick Mahomes can recreate what he did last year?
Not this year, but I do think that, over the course of his career, he is going to be a top 2 or 3 MVP candidate every single year that he's fully healthy.
Because I think he does kind of like fall back to earth, but we don't know what that is with Patrick Mahomes II yet in the NFL. So I think he has 45 touchdowns.
I think that they're one of the worst things that can happen to really young quarterbacks being successful is when they're overly successful and they walk up in year 1, 2, whatever it ends up being, and you're throwing 50 fucking touchdown passes and everything's easy and you're no-look passing for fun, it seems like.
Oh my God, he's doing it more and it's kind of scaring me.
That's what I'm saying. There's a recklessness to his decision-making and play-making ability that it makes him what he is, but eventually that's something that gets coached out of a player, and especially with a coach like Andy Reid, who, I would say to a certain point in Donovan's career, Andy Reid was perfect for him, and then he became detrimental to him. And I worry for Patrick Mahomes II.
Well, Andy would be gone by then.
You would think. What's he been there for? 6 years now? 7 years?
think it's been 7 now.
7 years, so
Yeah.
probably within the next 3 years, if you guys don't win, he's not going to be there. Like, NFL coaches just don't hang that long.
I think he would retire. I think this is his last coaching job.
It should be his last coaching job. He's so unhealthy. Like, do you ever fear that, like, I mean, granted, he doesn't get overly jacked up on
I'm waiting
the
to see him
sidelines.
on the sidelines eating like some barbecue and talking to Patrick Mahomes II.
So I don't know what happens. Like, he just, I don't know. Bizarre.
But yeah, I think he gets like 45 touchdowns and about 4,500 yards. He's not going to get the 50 and 5,000. So it's still,
I had him between
very,
38 and 42.
Okay.
Which
is still good.
Yeah, I mean, with some rushing touchdowns in the red zone, that 45's attainable. But
See, he will go like he's going to run, and then he'll just stop and then find that open guy like that Chargers game last year.
Filthy.
Yes. And that's his best asset. It's probably his rocket arm, but also his improv ability. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah. And for a guy who is as mobile as he is, because he is mobile, he's not necessarily like a blazer or anything like that. His eyes are always up, and that's fascinating to me. How young guys can feel presence the way that he did last year. Seeing him make plays with his arm so far outside the pocket always impresses me. Like it doesn't make sense. He shouldn't be able to do what he does.
I know.
That takes years to develop that kind of wherewithal on the football field.
That pitching, genetics.
I don't know what it is with him, but man, he is.
He was a terrible pitcher as well.
Was he?
Yeah, there's like a story out there that's like I played against Patrick Mahomes in his like one pitching appearance for Texas Tech, and he gave up he had like 6 walks or something.
That's amazing.
It was not good for him, but glad he's with football.
Should be.
My main concern for him is even though the backup tight end last year, Demetrius Harris, I couldn't stand. He was still average at his job. And Andy Reid likes to use 2 tight ends. And right now they have Blake Bell and Deion Yelder. Deion Yelder was on the practice squad last year. And he went to, I have it up, I just, deleted it. He went to Western Kentucky, undrafted free agent. He had 53 catches, almost 700 yards and 7 touchdowns.
That's what I thought.
But you just knew who Deion Yelder was?
No, I'm sorry. Every time I hear Blake Bell's name, I'm like, fucking Belldozer from Oklahoma.
Yes.
Quarterback, turned tight end, turned back quarterback, turned to an offensive tackle, out to a tight end again.
Yes, it is Belldozer.
My God.
So he's probably going to win the job as the backup tight end.
He should, dude. He's fine.
Yeah,
he's a good blocker.
He doesn't have many reception stats.
He doesn't need to.
I'm sure he will this year if he plays, but I would like to upgrade that position. I'm just not too high on that, and I think in this league now, you need 2 tight ends
especially in the red zone.
Yes. The Eagles have Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert. I think that's a great pair. I'm hoping Blake Bell, improves upon his stats, but of course, Patrick Mahomes will do that for him.
Yeah, the one thing I would have concerns with is the fact that Patrick Mahomes does have a fucking rocket. It's not like someone's soft tossing, some easily catchable footballs to him.
Yeah.
So if you're not used to having a lot of targets, shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just let him be the fucking fullback out there for you. Just let him sit there.
We have Anthony Sherman. He is amazing. Anthony Sherman is the best fullback in the league.
Great. Let him be out in the backfield with them. Let him sit there and chip block, and then just let a little float pass go up, because Belldozer will knock the shit out of anyone.
Okay.
I did fucking hate watching him play every single time he came into the game, because Sam Bradford was, I'm pretty sure, the quarterback at the time when he was still there too, which is why he was.
He was a 4th round pick in 2015. Blake Bell.
I don't even remember him getting drafted.
No, well, I don't know, but I was doing a little bit of research for the first time in my life.
Nice.
He was a pick before the Chiefs, took Rameek Wilson, who was his backup linebacker. I think he's in Seattle now. He was 10 picks ahead of Damian Wilson, who is now a Chief, and I think they're starting inside linebacker. So that's the only way I could correlate him to the Chiefs without knowing who the hell Belldozer was.
Yeah, I hated him.
Glad you knew who he was.
Yeah, from miserable Texas, Oklahoma games.
Yep. The other thing that I kind of have concerns with going into the season is the secondary. Safety, we're fine. We have Honey Badger, who I think is the perfect replacement for Eric Berry.
Man, so good.
I love him.
He is so good.
He just seems like he reads plays and adjusts to it so well to get that pick or to negate any run gain. Then on the other side they have Juan Thornhill, who was like a second or third round pick. He looks like he's going to take that starting safety position, and he looks really good. He's picking off Patrick Mahomes every chance he gets, so hopefully he does that to the other teams. Then they have Dane Sorensen, who was actually like the hero in the AFC Championship game. Played out of his mind. He had I think he had that game clinching interception. I could be wrong. I think it might have been Travarius Ward. It was him or Ward.
I think it was Sorensen.
Yeah, he did have one, and then the second one.
He's so
being
not
negated.
flashy, but he's sound.
Sorensen, he's just a little bit overpaid, but they'll deal with that. But on the cornerback side, because the safeties they have pretty strong depth. They have Armani Watts and Jordan Lucas, who played pretty well with Bob Sutton. That's saying much because he asked a shit ton out of his safeties, so they'll be fine. But the cornerbacks is like Kendall Fuller, Bashaud Breeland, who Chiefs fans wanted to sign last year, and then we're irritated that they signed him this year. I don't get it. What have you done for me lately? I guess I don't know, but
he got hurt last year in Green Bay. So first of all, you guys should not want him. He is not great. I don't know. I feel like Virginia Tech and Clemson, for whatever reason, those two schools, I sit there and I look at it, and Florida State will go with those three schools. When I see defensive backs come out of them, I just immediately trust, and I don't know why. Except for him. I have no faith.
Good to know.
I have no faith in him.
They also have Travarius Ward, who's kind of young. He was playing pretty well towards the end of last year, and that's saying something given how bad the defense was. I think he'll be one of the starting corners. There'll probably be him and Breeland on the outside, Kendall Fuller being the nickel guy. Morris Claiborne they signed. I'm not too high on him, but maybe he can do something after his suspension's over.
Some just depth.
Yeah. The other two guys, I have no idea who they are, but there's Herb Miller, who did pretty okay in the preseason and some of the highlights I've seen. I feel like he'll probably be that fifth cornerback. There's really not much to talk about right now with the Chiefs because I haven't been able to focus on them as much. But come NFL season, I'm at a bar freaking out, watching them, chain smoking cigarettes, and drinking John Daly's and getting shots of whiskey whenever something good happens. So it'll pretty much be a recap. The show will be a recap of Chiefs games, what's going on, injuries, all that shit. What's pissed me off about Andy Reid, what happened at the bar, what asshole pissed me off.
I'm going to have to rework my whole Sundays now and how things are going to work.
I'll probably watch the primetime games here.
Yeah.
So maybe get a live feed of me watching the game.
There you go. We'll work in bits. I'll record that audio and then I'll remaster it in with the same levels here, and we'll just drop those in for random things.
But yeah, this is just really the introduction to the show. I don't really have much besides, a few points to hit on. I'll have a lot more come the season, obviously. If you have any ideas for me, if you think this is a stupid idea, just let me know and I just won't do it.
Yes, we will.
Yeah, that's true.
We just may not record it.
Yeah, it'll just be me ranting. We'll probably just jump along with Whiskey Ramble.
Which, by the way, again, as we sat here and we're getting reviews in from all of our co-workers with ANYP. So all the podcasters, all the writers, they're all kind of mixing around and reviewing each other's work and giving some feedback. And one of our guys, he goes, Whiskey Ramble is let me find the text. Hold on. Because it's too good to not read the actual.
Okay. But yes, this one will be a more sober me during the show. So it won't be so as out there without barring my ADHD that was never diagnosed.
Self-diagnosed.
Yeah, my self-diagnosed ADHD. Because I will probably just go on tangents about what pissed me off and what was just way too good to not talk about. Because I'm sure there'll be a lot of Patrick Mahomes plays. Patrick Mahomes II plays. A lot of Tyreek Hill being Tyreek Hill. And me probably just...
We didn't talk about your running back position because you don't think Carlos Hyde's making the team.
Oh, yes. My hot take is Carlos Hyde will be cut by the Chiefs.
Why do you not like Carlos Hyde?
I just never really felt much for him. I just think he's the guy.
Yeah, he's serviceable enough, though.
Yeah, I know, but I think Damian Williams and Darwin Thompson, who's a 6th-round pick, are going to be the guys. Hyde might make the team, but I think he'll...
Be phased out quick?
Yes.
He gets traded again mid-year.
Yeah, I could see that, especially if Darwin, really plays well. Also, they have... Oh, God, They have another Williams, and I can't think of his name. It's like, I think it might be Darrell Williams. I might be wrong.
I will pull it up for you.
I know it's D. Williams because they have like
Williams.
They have 6 Williamses on the team, and they have 2 Thompsons. They have Darwin Thompson, and they have Cody Thompson, who's looking like he could replace Marcus Kemp. Okay, I forgot about this. Marcus Kemp is the Greg Ward of the Chiefs. It seems like he's been on the practice squad or in every preseason for the past 3 years, and he always impresses, but just barely misses it. And this year, he tore his ACL and MCL, right where he was actually going to make it. So, but we still have like Byron Pringle and Cody Thompson playing well. But yes, it will be a great year for the Chiefs. They will go. I'll give a prediction in the next show because I don't look at the schedule. But they are winning the AFC this year. I have that much down in money and in a Parks betting slip.
It's true. It's in studio.
Yes. Did you find it yet?
Yeah, I found it.
Oh, okay.
Significantly less impressive than I imagined or than I remembered. It just made me laugh because everything else that I had gotten was not awesome. But it just said I keep meaning to tell you this, but I did review Whiskey Ramble and its organized cast in the most satisfying way. It's probably the best segment, so I totally understand why it's the most listened to segment. So if you also listen to Whiskey Ramble, this is pretty much going to be this just with a purpose of Chiefs focus.
And so
maybe.
Yeah.
How many times are we going to record this like immediate gut reaction after either a gut-wrenching loss or a blowout win?
It'll probably be the next day. Because I usually just
stay at the bar.
Yes, or I go home and just pass out.
Stress.
Yeah.
You watch.
And the drinking, and then I'll wake up and usually catch like some of the Sunday night game.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I feel like that was actually partly the pattern because I would go to work Sunday nights and then I would randomly get a text with 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter from you. First time I hear from you all night.
Yeah. It's because I'm like, I wake up still kind of drunk. And I'm just like drinking water and like watching, like, what the fuck? You gotta see this. This is fucking ridiculous. But yeah, the primetime games are really where I show my true form because I'm not at a bar and I'm able to scream as loud as I want.
You could do that in a bar too.
Yeah,
it's just awkward when you're the only Chiefs fan.
Yes, I feel weird. I have a lot of stories about those, and I think I've gone on them, some of them at Whiskey Ramble. Maybe I'll bring some up during the show.
You should do that.
But any final Chiefs thoughts from you, Eagles fan?
No Chiefs thoughts. Final thought for me is go to Just Food. So we went to another one of their establishments. I keep forgetting that they have that second store until we were driving past it today. But Just Food, 215-794-FOOD. That's 215-794-3663. Yes, it is only 2 numbers, Steve, and I still remember them. Treat yourself. Take it home. Visit our guy, Asian Rob, or his brother, also an Asian man, whom I don't know his name. But if you know what Asian Rob looks like, he looks very similar, just taller. They make delicious food. Today we got breakfast sandwiches from them because we're adults and we went fishing during the day on a day that most of you are at work, but I don't work.
And we got breakfast at approximately 11:45 in the morning.
That's correct. After you got your knee fondled by a surgeon. So,
yes.
But delicious food all around. Cannot recommend them enough. If you know where Delvell College is, Delvell Farmers Market, right behind the school. It is. You know what? I don't know what the hell that address is.
No, no.
But go there. Just search Delvell Market and it'll come up for you. It's Just Food, 215-794-3663. Treat yourself. Take it home.
Yes, it was very good. And if you listen to Whiskey Ramble, I wanted shrimp salad. I got it.
It's true.
It's very fucking good. So, high recommendations.
There you go.
All right, so this is the first Chiefs talk show.
Do you want to say first inaugural again?
I almost did. But yes, this has been the inaugural Chiefs talk show on the Always Next Year podcast. I'm your host, Steve. Shane, have a wonderful night.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
See you in 5 minutes when I take you home.
Yeah.
A fighting man I used to be, revered and feared through Killarney. Now I'm back to hitching with the wind. But if Mickey Flynn should ever find me, I'll throw me caution all behind me and square off on that son of a bitch again. He cracked open a river too, he beat me Sunday through and through, and such over my unconscious frame. I won me healthy sheriff fights, well lucky son still had me life since Mickey Flynn beat me dumb and lame.